My name is Lane McCurran and I work at the Kingstown Community Library. Today I'm going to show you how to make a self-watering planter out of a soda bottle. Let's go outside. Here's what you'll need. An empty 2-liter soda bottle, some scissors, a coffee filter, some yarn, preferably cotton, but anything should work, some soil, something to plant, and water. Let's get started. First you're going to take your soda bottle and we're going to cut it in half. I'll remove the cap. You want to cut it roughly halfway through, maybe kind of a 2/3, 1/3 situation. It doesn't matter that much, but the bigger this top section is, the more room you'll have for your soil and your plant. So in order to safely do this, I'm just going to squeeze my bottle close together and cut the very edge. You could try to puncture it with your scissors and then cut around it that way, but that's not quite as safe. So let's squeeze the bottle together at the edge. And now that we've got an opening, we can cut all the way through. Now you can see how the two pieces fit together, and that's most of your planter. Set your bottle aside and grab your coffee filter. I'm the only coffee drinker in my house, so I've got pretty small filters. If you've got larger ones, that'll work. And if you don't have any filters, you could use a small piece of fabric or even paper, but you'll want something that will hold up decently to moisture. So fold your coffee filter into quarters, once in half, one more time. And then you're going to cut off the very, very edge of the tip. Just a teeny, teeny little cut. This, you only need it to be about as wide as your yarn's going to go through, so the smaller the cut, the better. Then unfold it, and we've got a little hole. Take your yarn, and we're going to cut about 8-inch sections. You want 3 of these. And we're going to braid them together. So you've got your section. You don't have to be very precise. And now we're going to braid it. You might want to tape it to your table so you can braid it more easily, tie it to something else, get creative. Here's my finished braid. So, take your braid, your coffee filter, and your planter, and grab your soil. Next up, you are going to run your braid through this hole that we cut. I ripped mine, and that's okay. So you want a couple inches at the bottom, a couple inches at the top, and then you're going to kind of pinch the bottom and place that into the top of your planter. So push it in, and you want to make sure that the bottom of the braid comes out the bottom of your bottle. Now we're going to fill it with soil. Just kind of go carefully. You want to make sure that the braid stays up in the middle of your soil. This is going to help it to wick the water from the bottom reservoir into your planter. You can see my hole's a little big, so the soil's coming out. It's not a big deal, it just might get your water kind of dirty. Fill it up, grab more soil if you need, and then once you've got it filled, we're going to get planting. Today I'm going to grow some green onions because I can cut these from my kitchen scraps. You can try to grow anything that comes as a root. I've got some examples. So with the green onion, it has the roots attached at the bottom. All you have to do is snip it off at the edge and you're good to go. You could soak it in water if you want, but this isn't necessary. Another plant that you can regrow are potatoes. As you can see, I have let this guy go for a very long time and it's pretty much ready to be a plant. You can separate a potato as long as it has an eye, which is where these grow out of, and regrow these. Potatoes need a lot of space though, so you've got to be careful what you put them in. Another option are carrots. I've got some carrots that I left in my fridge for way too long. I left them in the bag so they had a lot of moisture around, and as you can see, they have started to regrow their leaves, their roots, everything. Like the green onions, you can cut them off at the end and plant from there. These are just going to create root structures and new plants, and just experiment. Onions, garlic, these can all be regrown from your kitchen scraps. Now we just need to plant and water, and we're all done. I'm going to plant some green onions and some spinach. So with the green onion, you just cut off the root at the edge. You want to make sure that it has some roots going, and if it doesn't already have some going, just soak it in water for a few days until you see the roots start to grow. After that, you'll know that it's ready to plant. I've already cut a couple roots off, so I'm just going to get these planted. I'm going to poke some holes in my soil and just put them in there. They don't have to be very deep. You want the top about level with the soil. When you water, it's going to compact a little bit, so just be mindful of that. You want to think about your spacing and how much room a plant needs. These pretty much just grow down. They're not going to get a lot wider than what we see here with your green onion. And that'll be enough space. I'm also going to add in some spinach seedlings so that once my green onions are ready to harvest, I will already have something else going in my planter. I've grown these from seed, and now I'm just going to do the same thing, poke a hole in my soil and plant it in. So, we've got plants. The last step is watering. Take your water and get to it. Be gentle if you've planted seedlings or seeds. If you've got something hardier or bigger, you're probably fine just watering like normal. I've already watered my reservoir. So all you have to make note of is that you want to make sure that you have enough water in the reservoir for your yarn to start soaking the water up. It's going to draw the water up into the planter, and you'll have to water it less. So that's it. As you can see, I've planted a lot of things with kitchen scraps and recycled material. There's a whole world of gardening containers in your recycling bin. Thanks for crafting with me.